Now you're recording. Okay, there you go. You're welcome.
Sorry, can you repeat again? I don't understand.
Me?
Repeat again.
Okay. So because I don't really right now currently, I don't really see how I can actually the revenue patrol can do faster. I don't know. It's because of me getting used to it, getting used to the routine. But I think from you, Lilis, you already done the revenue patrol, right?
Sorry?
Have you already done revenue patrol
Yes.
from the last few days?
Yeah. I
Yes.
have tried for
Uh,
for property, and also your property.
okay.
You're doing the trial.
Well, that's why. I think for me, it's hard for me to say what is actually make it slow, or maybe let's say how actually I want to improve it, because I'm getting used to it. But I think for you that actually just start on the revenue patrol, what actually the challenge for you yourself to the revenue patrol? I think that will be better also for insight from me.
Challenge. Actually, maybe for the efficient one, I haven't found because like I still experimenting the way how to. I mean, what is the path? What should I look first, and then second. Yesterday we discussing that. Ya, kedengeran? Look, can you hear me?
Which computer are we going to use? You need a USB-C. You need one of the USB adapters. Should have left this alone. No, it takes us an hour to get there and put the hard setup in.
Okay. Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
It's over.
Oh, so
Can you just give me a shirt? Give us a shirt?
yeah, I'm still looking for the fastest. Yeah, I call it the fastest route to get conclusion.
You have a
I mean to get decision. Whether I need to change the price. Oh, someone is joining. Uh, how to get the
Oh, Dominic, I
fastest.
think.
But my question here is actually how to determine how much price or increase that we should make in the revenue management. I mean, what should we
Mm.
look for as the reference? Do you have any information?
Uh, I think it's pretty hard for me to answer that. I'll just be honest because usually, uh, I usually set benchmark, right? Let's say if the not the runway itself is already short. Let's say, well, where is it? I'm gonna share my screen, hopefully, but don't expect too much from me, yeah. Okay, so basically, this is lot three. I think you also discussed with Jing, right? Previously,
Uh-huh.
set a price for this one.
Yeah.
Yes. If I'm correct, let me double check. Okay.
I thought the best topic was actually to start with the high price. I like this. So
Okay. Last time you actually set a price for.
I thought this was wrong. It's also 29, right? But the one that's also 29 is $7,000. The one that's also 29 is $10,000. And this is what the regular distribution looks like here. And this is what the regular distribution looks like. And then how do we set prices? We update frequently with property. We reduce rental risk.
Uh, is that from your side, like Lilis? Could you hear me?
Sorry?
Okay. Uh, just like this one. So previously you set a price like around this one, around yep, 2,700, 2,700,000, then also 2,900,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of it actually get booking, but still, if you see on this side, actually there's still also a lot of gap night on after 17 and all the way until March. So in that particular case, usually previously, let's say for this March, previously it's only 4,500,000. Then after that, I'm gonna give a discount around 10% for 1,200,000. So to be honest, I don't really have a base on where actually the numbers come up. But usually, if I say the booking windows, let's say take a 1 month, and we still have around 14 days until 30 days, I only set it up, let's say, for 10% discount. That's just, let's say, to gain a little bit of inquiry from someone that actually kind of interesting. Because in the end, sometimes if we actually already lower the price, someone gonna send inquiries and also kind of asking for another discount on it. So this is just basically like a bait for me to gain another inquiry on the property itself. But if you actually are really close, just like what happened with your setting, it's only a few less with 1 weeks or even less. Sometimes I can give around 30 or 40%. That's the maximum. I never give 50% discount, if I remember.
So this is like differing on the other prices and also revenue, right?
It's very fragile.
Projected revenue.
Mm, just like previous discussion, right? We also need to consider regarding the operational costs. So if we actually give too much discount, so, this was actually quite interesting case that sometimes they're gonna ask inquiry, there's an inquiry, and they're actually asking again. It's pretty much last minute. Could you give me another discount? In the end, we can't give any more discount from that. So this pretty much like also an art of selling itself. So I try to just give a bit of discount, and after that, if someone actually asking for a discount, I still have, let's say, I still have some value that I can lower it down again. Usually that happen. But if I put increasing or something like that, that's what usually happen if the booking page already pretty tight. Just like rumah pertama or the kuto. Uh, if you can open, let me open it for you. Okay.
Which one?
Yeah.
CBI?
Uh, yes, yes, I can do see. Okay. We need one of the chairs. Yes, I do. All right. So what I need to do is I need to this here. Right. And then I'm going to focus over here. And if screen goes up, then it's good. And it does not.
This one is for
Should have left this up until last over the same time.
Ano ka? You searching for the
Hello.
villa pertama.
Okay, this is Dukutu. Okay.
Now, if you saw it, actually, that's pretty interesting. There's a lot of yellow, which mean that's pretty start even from February. We got a lot of last minute booking, right?
Yeah.
The idea itself, before I actually explain it, the reasoning why actually it's got lot of last minute booking because I also give a lot of discount. So previously on January,
Uh-huh.
the property got a lot of block by the owner or by the manager, which means we cannot sell the property at all previously. Then after that, we make a discussion with them, and actually finally they open all the block from them.
Okay.
Then that's actually we can start on selling the property. It's around on the mid of January. If you can saw it, yeah. If you see it on January, there's still a lot of block from the owner, Pak Ketut, and any other block, right? So we cannot sell the villa on the first half of the January. And after that, we discuss with them and we just delete all the block.
Oh,
Then actually that's why I can sell the property. But the problem is because it's been a long time since we actually can sell the villa. The ranking and also the impression for the listing itself is getting pretty low. So that's why I actually give a lot of discount for the property to get the ranking itself. Now, this is not a problem. For me, it's still in the manageable thing. If you see on February, it's basically already sell everything is from the first half is pretty much sell, but we still have a few of night actually on the second half, and we actually get a lot of revenue also. But for that, basically, we already get the ranking, we already get the impression. So basically, if you're looking for let's say Ungasan or Nusa Dua or Pandawa, supposedly our villa already on the first page. That's when actually I start to raise the price for March, April, May, and even also for the peak season. So basically, I kind of sacrifice the February to get a higher revenue for the another months or the following months. So that's the idea itself. If I see actually the booking page already pretty tight, which means there's a lot of long booking, the ranking also pretty much getting high. That's actually I'm preparing for the next month rather than just following to increase for this month.
Is that the car?
okay, Kak. Thank you. Let's welcome Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia.
Halo.
Welcome. So we're discussing about first one, how to determine how much increase or oh hi, Vidi. I'm sorry, Jing is out from the base, so I think here I only operate the monitors. So, we will discuss it together. So we now discussing about how to determine how much price increase or decrease in a property, and then Alvin just sharing about how he managed the Kutu Villa. So it's basically from February, from the January, there is so much booking from the owner, so we cannot sell it via Airbnb, right? Kak? Yeah, so he tried to make many discount in February to get like hiring the the ranking in the Airbnb. So when we get much booking, then it will be what what's the thing? Menaikkan rankingnya kan gitu. And then yeah, that's my summary about what Kak Alvin explained just now. Hi Dom, welcome. Okay, so because we have five attendants here, do you have any topic to discuss? Vidi, Cynthia, and Dominic. Do you have any topic to discuss? Cynthia, I think you mute your. Oh, sis.
India is on the phone.
Vidi, do you have something to discuss or ask?
Um, Not much actually, because I'm still I was just delegated with some properties by Miss Wayana, so I'm still learning about data.
Have you made any revenue patrol for the property that is given by Wayana to be?
Yeah, I did this morning. I received four properties, and two are new properties, which just was published, I think, at the end of January. While two others are kind of old. It's been 1 year. That's why I think one of the findings is that when dealing with these two properties, one of the properties is actually quite unique since it doesn't have any mirror properties. Therefore, we do not have any reference
Oh,
to
okay.
like for new data because the data is very scarce.
Also, if they don't have any mirror property, how do you like? How do you manage the property? I mean, like regarding the price or regarding the target of the revenue, monthly revenue, or anyone has any? Yeah, let's hear from PD first. How do you think that we can manage the property?
Right. So since in the subnet itself, I think Ms. Wanya said that there are 23 properties, but there aren't any mirror properties yet. Which to this new property, maybe we can also take the mirror property from other areas, like Bogor, but then adjust the rates and normalize it according to Nusa Penida area.
Oh, okay. So, any suggestion or opinion from Cynthia maybe for the property that has no mirror property?
If there's no mirror property in Nusa Penida, I used to like do is the area, so based on the area growth. And then actually this thing that I'd like to like discuss with you guys as well because somehow when I made a projection and there is no mirror property for that property and I just like applied the area growth, sometimes it has it has the result and it doesn't make sense. So I used to like count it manually. I just look for another property that has a similar or the very closest one with this property, and then I just count it manually. That the things that I still figure it out as well.
Okay, let's hear from Dominic. So Dominic, what do you think about managing property that doesn't have any mirror property? Uh, how about how can manage the revenue management about the property that doesn't have any mirror property? Wait, I can hear your voice, Dominic.
Probably very low advice. Let's keep that in
Okay. If I using the area grade, sometimes it doesn't really good. The result is like apa ya? Sometimes too high if I is following the area growth, or sometimes it's too low. So
Okay.
actually, um,
So what did you use then?
to be honest, I haven't experienced managing a property that doesn't have a mirror property. So it's like I always compare with. And for the revenue management that I've been making, I'm on Jogja and some of properties in Scotland, but in Jogja also the properties has already been for almost 1 year with us. So I have a data from last year that I'm used for doing the presentation for that property itself. But if it's a new property and doesn't have any mirror properties, I haven't experienced I never experienced that to make a projection.
Oh, so you haven't experienced the property with no mirror.
Yeah, yeah, with new property that doesn't have a mirror property. But if it's an old property that doesn't have mirror property, but been with us for almost 1 year, I probably use the data from last year to make a projection.
How if it is not a projection? Like we do have the projection, but along the time when we have to manage the revenue, like pricing and also timing for changing the price. What is your consideration of changing the price? I mean, uh,
My consideration, usually if the occupancy is already getting lower, and within 1 week the booking pace is it's already below 2, and then when the occupancy is for the weekly occupancy is below 30%,
okay.
I lower the price, and to make it higher, the price usually just checking on the calendar when is the high season of that month.
Okay. So how much discount you usually apply in your property?
Sorry,
How much discount? I mean, the range of discount that you usually apply on your property.
the method that I'm using when I want to change the price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's often I use that when
Sorry.
I'm on the pricing. Often I use that method.
No, no, not that, but the range of the percentage, the range of the discount percentage. For example, like 10 until 50%.
For what? Using this method or for changing the price based on the occupancy?
Change, uh, Changing the price based on the occupancy.
It's below. If the occupancy already below 50%,
Below, sorry, uh, hello, Dom. Hi. I think Dominic has trouble with the connection. Alvin is gone. Okay. Okay, okay. So Dominic said it's below 30%. Right? It's below 30%. 30%. Okay, let's hear. Thank you, Dominic. Let's hear from Alvin. Do you have any? Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Do you have any suggestion or not suggestion? Like, what do you think we should do when we don't have any near property to adjust the price or the timing of when we have to monitor the price, the revenue of a property?
If we don't really have a mirror property, I think we can use the internal data basically looking for the old pricing that we actually implemented previously.
Internal data of the previous price.
Yes, so this is about the looking for if we want to in case of decrease, right? And if we don't have a mirror property,
Mhm.
we can actually see based on my experience. Usually we kind of like take a notes on the PRM, right? So you can double check is actually what price usually kind of let's say correct, uh, and actually show on the red table also. So sometimes I see I check on the old data that we have.
Okay.
Either usually we take a notes like there's a gap night on the next 1 week, we set the price on around 1 million for a villa, then suddenly it actually sell, which means that's kind of like a rough number that we can use for a reference.
Okay. So it's basically using internal data. It's like historical data. My question is, what in of which property? I mean, previous price of which property? You said that
Sorry,
using the
I'm
previous.
actually speaking.
Uh, so, Alvin, can you? Alvin. I don't know whether I Alvin or not. Ini, hello. Okay. Sorry, my side voice is breaking. Okay. No problem. So, what kind of data, or which property, sorry, which property data that you use? Okay, Alvin is having trouble with the connection. Let's go to VD. Do you have any news insight from Dominic, Cynthia, and Alvin's explanation about how they're doing the revenue management?
Yeah, right. I got some insights from all of them, especially at the point where we see the growth in the area as a whole. Uh, but then uh, the thing is, I think I can use that method to like predict the price of the particular property. But I think that the property itself, because it's unique, and I think some of the other participants misunderstood the question, because basically we have no data. It's a new property. It's been like only 1 week since we published this property. Therefore, having no mirror property is quite trouble for us to project the future prices. Um, but then again, I think I get the gist of the explanation. Most of the time, we will try to do transfer learning, meaning that we take the closest. It doesn't have to be a mirror property, but the closest property, such that the price we can estimate from there. But yeah, it's. Thank you very much for the input. I'll try to apply them on Saturday.
You mean experiment to find the best fit
Yes,
price, right?
yes. Doing experiment is also one way, but then to set the initial price, maybe most of the time we can do transfer learning.
Okay. So then the next question is how to do a price experiment. Do you, is any one of you has any like opinion? I mean, like strategy how to do experiment efficiently. Maybe about let's setting it for 3 days or 1 week, so we can like getting the best fit price fastest. How do we? How can we do price experiment? Okay, anyone has opinion about this? Yeah, PD.
Based on what we did yesterday on the session yesterday, we take properties which has similar or same units. Then maybe we set one as a control. We don't change anything. Then the rest we do our changes for a period of time. But we need to remember that the price set has to still kind of like conform to the owner, because or else the owner will get angry. But then basically set one control and check for a period of time. Usually yesterday we did like 5 to 7 days and see whether our decision affect the property as opposed to the control property.
Oh, okay. So I like the way PD said is like control price. So you mean when a property has like 3 rooms, you set one as the control price. Am I right? Yeah. So and then the other room, like the other 2 room, you use as the you variate the prices so we can detect which price is the most efficient. Uh, because I'm new here, I also want to ask for like Dom and Calvin and also Cynthia. If we are using the experiment itself, is there any other factors that affecting, like for example, we have three rooms, and then we see that room one has a really frequently booked. I mean, many booking and those in related month, but the other room has no booking at all. Do you have any idea about what factors are affecting those conditions? Do you have any idea?
I think it's a listing ranking.
Listing ranking, yeah, right. So I agree with Cynthia the listing ranking because Jing also explained it to me actually. I just want to gain more from you actually. First one is the listing. What the other factors? Listing ranking. Do you have any other factors? No, right? This one. Now from just now, from the price experiment, it's cool that we set the control listing price, and then my next question is, if the other factor is the listing ranking, how do we can see the ranking of a property in Airbnb? Actually, this is my question because I haven't experienced to check this. Anyone has not solution like experience with checking the ranking? How how can I know the ranking of my property in Airbnb?
You can open the listing and get the listing, copy the link from Google, and
Huh?
then you open it on the browser. And then you can
So
scroll under the description. There's a ranking for the property itself.
so this one in the bigger, right? Let's we experiment bigger and then. Can you show your screen, Dom, that we can see how we can look at maybe for the newcomers like me and Didi? Sorry, Dom, you mute your mic.
Yeah, you can just copy the link from from Google, and then you open it on Airbnb. Then you can see the ranking. Oh, it's actually not ranking. I just remember. This is the review for the cat. So
Review.
this one.
Which one? Oh, so
It's not ranking, it's more like a review from the guest about the ratings itself. But for ranking, you cannot check it, but you can check it based on the booking page.
so it's like the review, right? Not the ranking.
Yeah, yeah, the ratings itself from the guest.
Okay. Which one is this? So, uh, do you have any one of you has any opinion about what review means other than like hiring the listing ranking of Airbnb property in the Airbnb ranking. It's been reviewed. Actually, I figured out yesterday. Reviews is also related with company. With community or the owner. Uh, the owners or the property condition, like the review of the comments. Uh, my yesterday case study is about the Babar cottage. Yeah, Babar cottage. So the review is only 3.7, and then I look deeply for what is the comment from the guest. It's actually about the property itself, like the cleanliness and also the environment around the property. Is like there is dogs that barking. So it's basically the community um, what community issues, right? And then Jing said that if that's the problem, that we are fine to lowering the price, but we don't have to stuck too much at that problem. I mean, we have to move to the other property. So that's like that I can share with you that I got from Jing. And then what should we discuss now? Do you have any other questions, Cynthia?
Okay. From my side, I think I'd like to discuss about how if there is no mirror property, or yeah, can we just like count it manually based on maybe the other property that has similarity, or maybe from the company growth itself, and also from the area assessment. It's about the projection, how to make projection.
Oh, it's the projection, not the revenue platform,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, mm, yeah.
Projection means for new property. Yeah, is it right?
Uh, yeah. Also, because in Penida, the property, most of the property hasn't been yet, right? So like we're pretty difficult to know the pattern of the code. Yeah, it's kind of like different from the other property in Bali that has, yeah, 2 years or 3 years. They have already the pattern, but in Nusa Penida, since it's just like a year, so yeah, the the pattern hasn't like settled yet.
Also, Cynthia's question is how to do projection with no mirror property? It is for a new property, for example, in Nusa Penida. Uh, who's doing projection here? I think Alvin, Dominic, uh, VD. Have you done any projection for new property? VD, have you done projection for any property?
Like the direct projection, no, but I'm
No.
building a model to
Okay.
project.
So maybe we can hear from Calvin first. How do we can do projection for new property in condition that we don't have any mirror property? Can you hear me?
Could you repeat it again? The first part. I only heard the last part. If
Okay.
we don't have a mirror property. Uh,
So how do we?
oh, how to do projection?
Yeah, projection with no mirror property. Like yeah.
Mm, is it for the new property or the existing property?
Yeah, it's for the new property.
Oh, for new property. Usually, I take a consideration when making a projection for new property, right? A mirror property, there will always be a difference on mirror property. There's a intersection and also a difference. So it's kind of like I'm taking the average between the area the area growth, and also the area average rates, and also the mirror property that actually as close as possible. I don't think that there is such no mirror property. Uh, if we try to make a projection, there will be always a mirror property, even if there's a difference on it. But just for a control, we can also take a look for the area itself. Let's say for the average rates on the area. So that's what actually I'm doing. Last part will be also looking for the what's called the competitor. So there's a three variable that actually I usually use when creating a projection.
That's great. I think I only got one variable, the
Yeah.
average rate of an area. What is the other?
So the three variables first is mirror property from our property, the
Oh,
property that we manage.
general
Second is the area.
mirror property from our from BV, right?
Yes, mirror property from BV.
Okay.
Second is taking a trace of the area. It's
Average.
correct. And the third one is mirror property from competitor.
Okay, mirror property from computer. What kind? The first one. What kind of data of mirror property that you use?
From the first one, usually I'm looking for the base rates. So when I'm creating a projection, first part is looking for the base rates. So that's actually the basis when we create a projection. All three of them is basically try to look in the base rates for the property itself. So usually the difference or the margin between each of them is not much. It's not more than 10%. If actually we really looking for the correct one or looking for the one that actually pretty close to each other.
Okay. So from base rate, the
From
competitor.
the base rate.
Where is Dom? Dom is gone. So Cynthia, do you have any comment with what Alvin said? I mean, do you think it is possible to be done in Sapanida?
Mm. Actually, Nusa Penida is pretty unique. So yeah, I have some discussion about this with my people, and mm, the method is always changed that I use in Nusa Penida. So I can't apply the same method when I make this property to the other property. And mm, about using the other property in BV, yeah, I have tried to like I compare it with Canggu because they have the similar property type like in Nusa Penida. Uh, yeah, I think it could be used, but it's still can't be applied to all of the property. So taking little more effort. Yeah.
Uh, okay, I think it's also can be one way to predict the price of a new property and also the revenue. Uh, here, here's the thing that I have a thought that do you have any opinion about when we want to set a price, we determine the price based on what is the facility inside the property and also using the average rate of the area. Like when it is in Canggu, then what is the base price for Canggu? And then if there is any additional facilities, there is a pool, so we can add the price for example, like 100, 100 rupiah, and when there is a kitchen, and then we can add the price for 50,000. I think about that method of determining the price where we don't have any mirror property for such a property. So how do you think about that method? Is it possible to be applied here in Bukit Vista? Anyone that has opinion can just directly answer it. Cynthia, I think.
Yes, I think you should determine the price. Also, if at least the last option is we look for the other competitor.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have the same facilities, we can like consider the price, make the base price from yeah considering the competitor as well.
So just like copying the competitor's price, right? With the same
It's not.
standard.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I'm not sure is it copying or not, but we can take the average price on that area. Yeah, with,
okay.
with that area and also property with the same facilities.
So it's like Alfin's the third method of Alfin saying it is mirror price of competitors. Is it right, Alvin? Alvin? Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Calvin or Vidi, do you have any comment with what with my previous thought? I mean, like, yeah, my previous thought, like, giving standard for a room in an area, and then aiding the price based on the facility.
Right. So regarding that, can I also like comment on it because I think um,
Yeah,
the his methods actually I think I agree to his methods and what he said. One sentence that he said, there are no such thing as no mirror property. That's one of the statement that I kind of agree with because just as I've said, um, even though in the beginning of this meeting when I said there seemed to be no minimum property according to Miss Wayana, I still said that I wanted to apply transfer learning. That's why I also agree because there are some degrees of knowledge that we can take from a similar property, no matter how different it is. That's why I agree completely. For your statement, um, regarding the property price added based on the facilities, I actually agree. But then it's very difficult for us, let's say revenue manager who are not the host. We do not actually have that kind of information. And actually, I have currently I'm building a neural network model. The only according to our database, the only data that we have is, for example, what kind of property it is. For example, it's a villa, it's a house, or it's a hotel. Basically, there are categories, right? Whether it has um, whether it has other whether a property has a facility or not, the data is very limited. For example, whether it has hot water or not, we have that kind of data. But for example, what kind of architecture, what kind of building, right? That kind of thing we don't have. But from those kind of new features, we can actually input it into the model, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking all this consideration, whether it has hot water, whether it provides, whether it has a pool, that kind of thing is included in my model. That's why I agree to your statement. But then again, I would like to remind that currently our model does not actually support that kind of that currently our database do not actually have sufficient information because our database is very limited. There
Okay.
are a lot of missing parts. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have like a little bit similar consideration with PD because I talked with Mas Layu also yesterday about how to do pricing. So the here is the thing. I don't know whether Dominic, Calvin, and Cynthia knows that Alvin today is working on a model how we can do pricing as a revenue manager. Am I right, Vidi? Yeah. So maybe Vidi now is searching for help to find any other external factors that we can include but in consideration that we also can provide the data. For example, just now, like the model, the flexible model that can determine price when we add the pool, when we add the kitchen. So, who, is anyone ever be a host or air support? Cynthia is the air support, right? Yeah. So, can we get like okay, the question is how do we can get the data about facilities? Like when we add pool, then we can add this price, this amount of money, like 100 or something. Is it possible to get the data? My thought is maybe it's coming from the operational cost of the owner. Yeah, Cynthia, do you have
Okay.
any opinion about
Well, actually, there's that data they call prop amen. It it is made
it?
by Dan. Prop amen. Prop amen. The
Amen.
text expander prop amen. Prop amen. Yes. Prop amen.
Prop. Amen.
And then prop amen. Yeah.
Amen.
Papa Romeo Oscar Alpha Mama Echo Nancy.
Okay. This data.
Yep. Yep, it is made by content, and also when the first time like if you made a new project, and usually market building also make some like checklist what kind of the facilities in that property, so you can determine from that.
Okay, so we have data about what is the amenities provided in each property. And then the question here, how do we can, yeah, okay, the question is to PD now. So what do you think this data can help you to build the model?
Um, Again, when dealing with machine learning models, I have this data, like the
Oh, you
amenities.
have this data.
Yes, that's what I said. I have that kind of data. That's why I am using it. Currently, I'm training using this data. That's why I agree with your statement. But then the data is kind of incomplete because we have properties from 2 years or 3 years ago, and the database is quite incomplete. That's why the devs currently are trying to collect.
Oh, reading is gone. Hello? Okay, okay. Oh, where's Vidi? Where are you, Vidi? Engkau, biasa aja mukanya. Ayo kita ngobrol dulu, guys. Pasti kamu lagi
Banyak
layar
BTW-nya.
lain. Pasti kamu lagi buka layar lain. Okay, because Vidi is not connected yet. So, yeah, this is Vidi. Yay. Vidi, why are you listening? Please stop. Okay, maybe I heard just now that PD has a problem with missing data, but I don't clearly understand what data is missing. I mean, from this data, what is missing and what is he needs for the model? It's like, yeah, yeah, PD is coming. So, PD, welcome. Is it okay? Can you join? Hello, PD. Oh, it's almost four. No, it's already five. So yeah, let's wait.
The data is incomplete.
Didi, Didi, wait.
Some data are missing.
If I may add,
Hi, hello, Didi.
Can you hear me?
PD, can you reverse your buy? I don't think we can reach BDs, and it's already 5 p.m. So do you want to continue the discussion? Oh, by internet. Please go on. I'll type. Okay. Please type. What kind of missing data that you mentioned? Maybe anyone of the team can help. Okay, let's hear from BD. What data is missing? Probably we have to submit them, like enriching data. Okay. Good property. What kind of data? For example, sometimes we don't know if a property has the amenities. Uh, yes, that's right. Okay, okay, Cynthia, you give the link for the property just now. Do you have any
Yep.
opinion? Do you have any opinion about the accuracy of the data? I mean, whether it is updated or not, like really safe.
Yep. Oh, well, I'm sorry for I'm sorry, but actually, I never use the data. I just known about there's the data exists. I'm not sure, but it is updated or not. But maybe if you wanna get the like the exact data or maybe the accurate data, you can do some like research or some observation to the owner. Like we send them like questionnaire or survey to update the data. Yeah, that's from my side.
So it's like we are doing the data collection by ourselves again. I mean, like, yeah, I know it. I understand.
Yep,
Thank you, Cynthia.
yep.
Galvin, do you have any suggestion? Maybe 10 minutes more. Do you have any
Me,
information about it?
I think uh, Squad One don't do that before because on Squad One we have a lot of old property. Basically, the only thing that we can do is going to the property directly and basically updating the data that we have.
Okay.
That's actually need help a lot from the host and also the support that know the property better. But actually, this is also a question to V. Uh, this is what came in my mind basically when we try to dissect all the amenities and facilities to calculate the pricing itself. Most of the some of the facilities and amenities we brought in is some of it kind of tangible that we can calculate. Let's say like breakfast or maybe pull on the maintenance pool, and the other thing that basically we can calculate the operational cost. But on the other thing, there's also one that let's say pretty intangible. Let's say for ocean view, or maybe that's actually infinity pool that actually maybe I have a little bit of difference on the pricing, just a standard pool like that. So that's actually my question: how we actually try to dissect between amenities or slash facilities that tangible and also intangible.
Exactly. Okay. We represent
Hmm.
that with zero. Okay.
Oh, okay, so yes or no, basically. Okay, okay.
Oh yes or no. Okay, we present it by zero or one. So
Hmm. Okay.
so yeah, yesterday Fidi's question for me is how do we can get the coefficient for the model? Yeah, the coefficient like okay. The next question for Vidi. How many coefficient do you need? I mean, like, what is the coefficient represent? Evolution. Okay. So many variables. Okay. Do you have anything to continue, Vidi? Okay. I think it's very interesting when we have. Okay. You mean the minimize the error or minimize the variable? Minimize the variable. So let's say you have 23 variables. So you want to like filtering the variable which is more important to the model and the real condition. Is that your consideration now? Yeah. So that's the VD's question. So is any one of you that has suggestion? Don't. I think you have to respond to this. It's so interesting, but I cannot think about the model. Do you have any opinion, Dom? No. Okay. Uh, Maybe the first one that we have to do is like making questionnaire. Just now, like what Cynthia suggests to us, make the questionnaire and collecting the data for each property, and then we have the right data based on the real condition, and then from those data, which data has the most, I mean, the most one value, so that one that we must consider. Am I think, is it make sense? Like for example, we have 10, 10 we have 10 factors, and then when we survey it, only four that has one has data about, yeah, no really, no really, no really, no. I don't think so. I don't think so. I cancel my opinion. I think it's not too relevant. Okay, so the the thing that we should propose now is making the questionnaire. Is anyone agree of that, or you have as other things that we can consider or we can do next? Can we? Okay, okay, okay. I see, I see. I give a motion. No motion. I'm practicing, right? I'm really sorry. I'm not giving a motion. It's like, is any one of you agree that we have to make questionnaire for collecting the amenities data? If you agree, please raise your hand. Like, yeah, I like this. If you agree, or if you are not agree, then please give us suggestion. Update all data. Uh, Cynthia, do you have any comments for VD's chat?
Yeah, from my side, I think if it's possible, maybe we could make Like we could make what a new questionnaire.
Sorry,
Because new questionnaire it will be more accurate. I
not more accurate but more complete. Yeah, accurate also because
uh,
maybe there's an update for the facility.
mhm. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah. I think we should make a questionnaire like the type form, and then we can spread it to the partner directly, or maybe when the host coming, like Alvin said, when the host coming, we just like make it checklist, what's new, what the update. So after that, the data can be compiled, and then there must be one person that kind of like responsible to edit if you want to edit or update the data, and also entry the new data if there's really the new ones.
Okay, so Cynthia almost like okay, we are trying like I mean almost like agree with that. So about Dominic and Alfie, do you think is it important to like making questionnaire and collecting the data? Alvin, if I have around
Mm, for me, I don't think we need to make a new questionnaire. So basically, the prop amendment itself is the result from a form that you already have. So basically, what I mean is we can just use the old form, but the basically we can like updating the old data on the spreadsheet using the old form itself, because the old form is pretty aligned with what we are looking for. What we are looking for is only the updating data, right? So just for efficiency, I don't think we need to make a new questionnaire on that. But also on VD, he said that the devs also are collecting it. So just need to double check on it so we don't make a double work.
okay. Okay, so we don't have to collecting it, but we have to determine which data is the most important to consider in the model. Am I right, PD?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what I meant was, can you hear me?
I mean, uh, today you have concern to determine which variable that is important to be considered for your model.
Yes, yes, that's
Yes.
one. But
Okay.
also,
So PD is
another one,
talking
right? It's
now.
also the pre-processing,
Okay. Okay.
um, because the database that we have right now isn't meant to be used.
Uh, okay.
Therefore, we need
Because
to
this is
update it.
already it's almost what time is it? It's 5 past 16. So I think that's our last discussion about determining what is the factors that very important to include in the model. But maybe we can think of it first, and then if you have any suggestion, you can just go direct to VD to give the like the solution. For example, actually, I ever heard about prioritizing of factors that using statistical method. So it's maybe can be one method that is useful to determine which factors that we should include into the model. So that's my opinion about how you can choose which factors to include in the model. Maybe if Alvin, Dom, and Cynthia has any suggestion for reading, you can say it now, or perhaps you want to think it first, and then you can go directly to reading by WhatsApp. Yeah. Do you have any suggestion now? Is it clear or no?
No, I
Uh,
think I will go to VD directly.
sorry,
I will tell
VD.
I will tell VD directly.
Okay. So I think it's for today. It's quite interesting actually because it's talking about model, how we do pricing. But I'm really sorry if I have many mistakes because Genius is like, oh, Lilis, just do it by yourself. And this is my first time. I'm sorry, guys, if I spend too much of your time. And thank you very much for today. How do we end the conversation? By asking one by one. Cynthia, do you have any more to add, to talk with?
Yeah, you just doing great. Yeah, for your first time. Congratulations.
No? Do you have any addition? No? Really? Okay. Okay, thank you guys. Nice to meet you. You can close the webinar now. Bye.
Bye.